Welcome to the next episode of the Iowa Girls Wrestling Stories podcast. Today, my guest is a Lewis Central standout, Kassidy Fiala. Did I pronounce that correctly, or is it?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
did pronounce it. That's awesome because I usually screw things up like that. You're actually someone I've watched for quite a while because we're kind of in the same part of the state, and I've just never really got to know you. So I'm actually kind of excited to talk to you about this stuff. How you doing today?
Good. I'm doing great.
That's awesome. So this year, you did very well at the state tournament, placed sixth, which is amazing. But you've been a three-time qualifier, is that right? And
Yeah.
then two-time regional champion. So kind of, and you graduate this year. So your career, your high school career is over. What are some of the things that really stood out as high school memories for you?
I'd probably say the end of, I had a really hard cut this year, and I was gonna say at my first tournament this year was at Ridgeview, and I was jogging before weigh-ins because I was scared I wasn't gonna make weight, and then I found out we had a pound, and I was like, ah, and but it was a really hard weight cut this year, and at the end of the state, like after wrestling, after we watched Avea and Mari and Kaylin and Maddie, we went back to the hotel, or we said hi to all of our family, and we went back to the hotel, and I had a that Blue Bunny like gallon, half gallon ice cream. I ate the whole thing in the hotel
Nice.
lobby with our team coaches, Mari's little brother. He wrestles on, and he was there, and we were all just sitting there when I just ate the whole thing.
Very nice.
The
What
whole
kind of ice
like
cream was it?
Rocky Road.
Rocky Road. Are you an ice
Yeah,
cream person? I love ice cream. It's one of my favorites. I know
I
since you're
love.
an Iowa person, you got to go down to Casey's, and I know there's a million Casey's in Council Bluffs, and they have sugar cookie dough. Have you ever had that one? It's Casey's brand sugar cookie dough. Oh my God, I get that every time we go get a Casey's pizza. I grab one of those, and it's amazing that I keep this girlish figure like this, right? You know, it looks like actually I kind of look like I'm pregnant, so it is kind of a girlish figure. Um, so you got to tell me the for this year, I'm guessing that the medal that you have hanging up right in the middle that's on display the most is probably that Ridgeview one because it's probably more important than any of the other ones, isn't it?
I do. It didn't come with like a lanyard, so
Oh no.
there I have all my medals that came with them on there, and then on top
Yep.
there's like a ledge. So like when
Yep.
we get our participant, state tournament participant, those are all up there. Osage gave us plaques, and then all of the ones that without them are up there. But I coming to Lewis Central, I was very nervous to wrestle at your guys' tournament, and I had a Shaylee Sutherland in the finals my junior year, and then I had a girl from Spencer, and then I beat her in the finals, and I don't know, I was told it was gonna be a really hard tournament, and I like and it definitely was for the first tournament of the season. It was tough. I had some tough matches there, and Shaylee Sutherland's a beast, so
Yeah.
I love wrestling her. It gives me a lot of insight on what like a good match looks like.
Yeah. And you guys do a lot of big tournaments. So Lewis Central, you travel a lot and you do some big tournaments. What are some of the bigger ones you did this year?
I would say Osage, CB Classic, and then we go to this one Bayshore, Linwood, and Kansas. Those are like my top three probably biggest
Hmm.
tournaments besides like the state tournament.
Yeah, I think I'm going to Osage next year. I talked to the coaches. As long as they got room for me, I think that looks like a fun one. And it's right after Christmas too.
Mhm.
Um, I think actually the very first time I talked to you was after your third place win at AAU State. You were in the training room coming out, and we walked over to the awards area. You're super excited to qualify for, being that automatic qualifier for Scholastic Duels. What are some things you're looking forward to going down to Florida with us?
I've never went. I was just shy my junior year. I lost my third place match. So I and that year at the AAU state tournament was awful. I think I lost like round one or two, and I had to I you can see me in the backside. I come from like all the way to the third place match, and it was rough. I wrestled like every 20 30 minutes, and I was just short, but all three of them ended up going, so I missed out. And I've talked to like Mariah Benedict and Lenny Gusek and Candace Bushlong about it and their
Hmm.
experience, and they love it every time. And I was like, man, like that's like I didn't even care about a medal at AAU at all. I was just like, I want to go to Florida, I want to go to Florida, I want to go to Florida. And I don't know, I'm really excited. I'm not really sure what to expect, but I'm just excited that I'll get to experience it at least once because that was my last goal with my folk style season this year was to qualify.
Nice. Yeah, I'm surprised I didn't catch you on the back end of that last year. Must have had a lot of people say yes at 135. So, but no, it's definitely a different trip than we used to take because we're not, not in Orlando anymore. But honestly, I like the trip better now because we're not in Orlando anymore and we don't spend 5 days at the parks because that gets to be kind of a long thing. But no, I'm excited to have you along. But part of that is you're doing a fundraiser and you're going to do a clinic at Lewis Central. You want to talk a little bit about your clinic, and I'll make sure we clip this and put it out for kind of an advertisement for you. But looks like May 17th. What do you got going on that day?
So me and my coach Dean, and I'm not sure if like what girls from my team are gonna come help me out with that yet. I brought it up to them, but I haven't asked like, hey, who's going or anything. But me and Dean, I talked to him about it and our AD. We're gonna have it in our middle school gym. We're probably gonna get there like an hour before it starts just to make sure everything's all set up. We originally were gonna have it in our wrestling room, but I want to make sure that parents can be involved as well, especially like let's say I had 10 kindergartners. Like I work
Yeah.
with kids every day, so I know that like they can't keep their focus on 100% of the time. So like let's say they need a a mental break, or let's say they need just a break to go talk to mom or dad, or need some water or something. Just need a break in general because it's a 2 hour long first session for the littles. So I want to make sure that parents can be there and be involved, especially because I don't know, wrestling, like it's kind of very individual, but I like parents to see like what goes on at our practices or what's going on, and make sure they're in the loop as well because I'm sure that's like something they want to see from a especially a girls clinic, is because a girl's running it, girls will be there helping out, and it's girls only, which I don't know if I've seen like in the past like 5 years is where we've kind of seen girl only things because it
Yep.
recently sanctioned here. So, and I don't think we've had many like girl only things here in CB. So I was like, okay, this will be super fun. But I like to keep parents involved. So, but parents will be there. We have a first session, which is about 2 hours. It's for like kindergarten through fourth grade, but we're very lenient about it. Like, let's say you're a fifth grader and never wrestled before. I'd rather you be in the first session rather than the second one. Or let's say you're a really advanced fourth grader, I'd rather you be in the advanced group just so you can get more technique in and whatever works for whatever group.
No, that's awesome. That's a great idea, and it's a really good way to start giving back to the community. That's really cool. You said you work with little kids all the time. So what's your job?
I'm a child children's associate. I work at a daycare, but it's
Okay.
like a before and after school program. So we have about it depending on what school I'm at, because we have dozens of elementary school. I won't not dozens, but quite a few elementary
Yeah.
schools here in PB, and I go to just about all of them. But I work for Council Bluffs District instead of Lewis Central District. But depending on the school, my main school has about 40 kids, morning and afternoon, give or take. So we have about three of us that work, but yeah, I work with them every morning and afternoon for about I get about 6 hours a day.
Wow. That's a lot. That's
Yeah.
I'm not a little kids person, so I feel for you. But I'm sure it's fun too. But yeah, that's got to be a good time. The Lewis Central program. Actually, I'm going to start before that. Let's go back to when you started wrestling. How did you get started wrestling, and where did it all come from, I guess?
It's honestly like a really funny story. I've told this to a couple of people, but it was my birthday party and we had about 15 girls over, and my mom laid out like pillows in the living room because my mom wrestled for a year at Woodbine when she was in high school, and she was their 106 or whatever 100 pounder that
Yeah.
was at that small town in Woodbine. And she was like, why don't you guys just wrestle? Because I played basketball and I would foul out of the games, or I was just too much on the court. So I was like, all right, okay, we'll wrestle. And I ended up being really good at it just right off the bat right there. So I was like, you know what, I'll just try it. She was like, yeah, go try it. And I went to this like it was a club at first because it was at the middle school. And then I did like a year of just the club and I was like, okay, like this is fun. And then quit basketball and then started wrestling full time.
Nice. Do you know who your mom's coach was at Woodbine by chance? Has she ever said?
I
I'll
don't,
have to ask because I think I went to college with him, to tell you the truth. I think it's probably Matt Mentic, which is it's cool. I hard to know what year your mom graduated, but I have a feeling I know her coach. That's kind of neat. I'll have to catch up with her a little bit too. But then, yeah, you started eighth grade full time, and then as a freshman, really you've been varsity all 4 years, right? And
Mhm.
you guys are an excellent team. This year, you placed fourth out of in 2A. The year before, fifth overall, all classes. Talk to me a little bit about your coaches. I know some. I know them fairly well. I know one of them better than others, but go ahead.
Um, I'm gonna do like our whole coaching staff. So we got Dean Leaders, we've got August Mans, we got Fisher, who I work with a lot as well. We have quite a few like JV coaches or strictly boys coaches, but we have Dwayne, who is a varsity boys coach, but he was always in the room and always helped out. Neitzer was pretty much JV boys and girls. We have Coach Moore, who helped out with the middle school and high school. We have Yeoman. Um, yeah, I think that's everybody. But Dean Leaders is strictly pretty much strictly girls, and then August was pretty much boys, but we saw them he came with us all the time, but if it had to be like, okay, we got a boys tournament and a girls tournament, where are we going? Dean was girls, Mans was boys.
Gotcha. Yeah, I've known Mans for quite a while. He was, well, since he's been over at TJ, we did some clinics over there when I first was getting started with girls wrestling. And then I know his brother Adam was at Dana College where I went and stuff. And I actually kind of helped coach the last couple of years that Adam was around. So I've known them a long time. And then some of like Macy Vetter, I believe, is probably a sophomore, maybe a junior at Lewis Central. She was wrestling back in the old days, but she's a basketball player. Her mom are very basketball oriented, so we didn't get her to wrestle. But yeah, I've been around the Council Bluffs scene for a little while and stuff. But um, as a team, you guys, how many people are on your team?
Oh,
Approximately. You
I
don't have
think
to have it perfect.
we don't have a full lineup. We have a couple open weights, but we also have a couple people at like doubled up at weights. So
Yeah, so
we
some
have
probably
we
around
have
20 ish.
yeah.
20-ish. What's the team dynamic like? You have a lot of really talented young ladies on that team, and it just looks like you guys have a pretty good team dynamic and get along pretty well. Friends outside of wrestling also.
Yeah.
Yeah. And one thing I've noticed about Lewis Central is you guys always, you always show up early and you guys warm up prior to weigh-ins. And I've thought about it many times of doing that. What's your thoughts on it?
When I first transferred to LC, I was kind of like, what are we doing? Like, this is weird. But then I had a conversation with Dean about it and I asked him, I was like, hey, why do we do this? Because I'm like, I don't know. I was just like, I had no idea why we did it. Nobody else did it. He's like, it's good to blow out your lungs because or they really were like, I'm blowing out your lungs, because that first match you go in, and if you haven't already had like a good warm up, you're gonna go and gas out your first match, and that could potentially weigh on your whole tournament. But yeah, so like during like sprints, like we have like also during our second warm up, there's also not a lot of room because everybody else is warming up. We get
Yep.
all the match to ourselves when we're warming up before everybody. So not only do we get an amazing warm up, we get like all the time to warm up. There's really no excuse on you should be warmed up because we are there before everybody. We're warming up before everybody. We have plenty of time to stretch, and we aren't getting gassed out our first match. We're gassing everybody else out because we've already blew out our lungs. We're already sweaty. We're already ready to go before everybody else has even hit the mat for their first warm up.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. We've gone to similar, we do a pretty hard warm up too. But I was always wondering pre warm up or pre weigh-ins. It's got to help also. Maybe you can have a little bit more to eat the night before because you're going to you may drop a pound or so during that warm up. So that's also a nice little thing. One thing you talked to me ahead about, your family is huge, and you have 10 siblings and one on the way. Um, that's got to be a crazy household. What's it like to live in the Fiala household with that many kids around?
My parents are split, so it's kind of spread out, thankfully, but it's spread out among three houses. I live with my stepdad, Jason, and in our household, we got two twins. They're 15. We got the little Aria, she just turned 3. And then at my mom's house, we've got three stepkids, Zoe, Cameron, and Miley, and then the twins when they're over there as well. And then at my biological dad's house, we got myself, Kaylin, Zach and Chloe, and then my stepmom Rachel is currently pregnant. Sorry,
Wow,
it
you
took
almost that's a lot. Probably almost need a chart on where you're at and who's there. That's crazy. So what's it like to be the oldest of all that group and kind of the leader there? I'm guessing you have a lot of responsibilities.
At first I did before the twins could drive. So I would take them to school every day, or if I had a morning practice, I kind of had to be like, well, guys, you're gonna have to walk or something because I got stuff to do, sorry. But it's honestly it's not that much responsibility because there are a lot of parents involved too, but it's more so like I don't know, it's more so like a role model thing rather than taking care of them kind of thing,
Yeah.
especially because you're the oldest, they all look up to you. So like during wrestling, like because my little brother wrestles, my sister thought about it. The twins used to wrestle, but they're really committed to junior ROTC, so it's not really for them, which I understand. Like, I'm gonna convince all of them to try it at least. My
Hmm.
brother Zach loves it, and he's the only boy, so he just loves watching me wrestle. I love going to his meets and watching him wrestle because he gets very emotional about it, and I used to too. But like I love watching him grow, especially because he's starting out so young. I like seeing that he likes being on the mat, and if the other ones don't, at least they're like supporting me through it because they're like, "Oh my gosh, she just did that and that," and I'm like, maybe you should try it. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah, no, I grew up in a much smaller household. I have one older brother. You probably have actually seen him around because he coaches for Western Iowa Wolves. He's the older one with the reddish gray beard, so you probably ran into him. So that's my older brother. So he took care. He's you. He kind of took care of me, and he was my role model and stuff. So yeah, I couldn't imagine that craziness of all those people, but that's really cool. And then to go watch little kids before school, after school, you really is that something you're interested in doing? Like, are you thinking about being a teacher? Maybe is that kind of the direction? Very
Yeah.
nice.
So when I was in eighth grade in the Council Bluffs district, I was able to move up a grade. So I'm a year like ahead of everybody. So my senior and junior year were spent taking Iowa Western classes. So I'm already ahead on my associate's degree for early childhood education. So,
Nice.
but my goal is to be a third grade teacher, and when I get my degree, I'll come back to CB, whether that's Lewis Central or Council Bluffs, whatever it is. Like, I just want to teach and coach at the same time.
Oh, very cool. Which district were you at prior to coming out to Lewis Central?
I was in the Council Bluffs district.
The council, is it which, or is that, so that'd have been like your middle school though, wouldn't have been, would you have been like an AL or a TJ person, or which, do you know which one?
I went from Hoover to Kern to Abraham Lincoln, then I
Okay.
transferred to Lee Central junior year.
Gotcha. So,
Mhm.
Matt Daniels, Matt pretty well too then?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Matt and
he
I
was
are
the
good
one
friends.
I started with.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's cool. Matt and I talk all the time. Two old guys get together, we yap all the time about wrestling and stuff. So, Council Bluffs, I kind of, I went to college in the area, not too far away. Went back and kind of worked in the area also. I think Council Bluffs is fun. One of my favorite things to do. And you go out to Walmart at Lake Manawa and watch people because it's a crazy place to watch people. Uh, what are some things around Council Bluffs that you like to do?
I personally enjoy fishing when I have the time. So on like Lake Manawa, there's a bunch of little docks, or you can go up against the banks and just fish out at Lake Manawa. Or there's not really much to do here, but I mean, there's parks everywhere. Like I take Aria upstairs to the park all the time. We have a trail, like a Wabash trail that goes all throughout like my side of town. So if you just run on that straight, you can. It's a really long trail. I've never made it to the end because it goes all the way out to like Glenwood or something.
Oh
I don't know
wow.
where it ends, but it's a really long trail. I like going on the trail. Besides that, there's not really much to do. There's a lot of like historic things in CB, but I don't know. People watching is definitely a good one in CB because
Yeah, yeah. Like man, well, there's some really crazy things you get to see there, isn't it? Um, you know, Council Bluffs, the bridge art, is definitely one of those things that people notice about Council Bluffs. Like Manawa, you're close to Omaha. Probably going to Omaha quite a bit, don't you?
yeah, I
Or
was there today.
yeah, yeah. I love Omaha. Um, one of the things that I got to do, and you'll probably be pretty impressed by this, probably get my autograph after this. But do you watch Teen Mom at all? Did you ever watch Teen Mom? There's Farah. Do you know who I'm talking about there even? Farah's actually from Council Bluffs, so it's a whole thing. She was on Teen Mom and kind of a crazy one, but she was a TJ person. But I was actually at her mom's house and did a job for her mom, so thought I'd get some street cred with you there, but I got nothing. So you'll have to maybe go back and watch some Teen Mom or something like that later on.
Yeah,
Um,
I'll definitely look into it after this.
Yeah, you'll understand that after watching that she's definitely from TJ. Um, so what's next for you? What's the recruiting trail? Have you decided where you're going? What's next in your plans?
For next for wrestling is I just got done with a freestyle tournament yesterday. It's mainly just focusing on freestyle right now. Just trying to I don't necessarily like, oh, I need to go to Fargo because I have a lot of offers already or plans in college. I haven't committed anywhere yet, but I'm really torn between two right now who I've been having really good conversation with. They're both JUCO. But I'm just really torn between them. I gotta really maybe go back for like more visits and see what I want to do. But I was gonna say I haven't committed anywhere yet, but I do want to wrestle in college and because they just changed that rule, I can wrestle 2 years JUCO and then go 4 years NCAA. So I really like that just got announced because yeah, I don't know, it makes it a lot better. But yeah, no, I definitely want to do that and I don't know, just see where freestyle takes me because I'm not very freestyle experienced. I practiced it for like 2 years with Swift and Powerhouse, and now I'm starting to compete it. And I just had my first one back since last season, or my first tournament since last season yesterday, and it went really well. I've definitely got some things I got to work on for sure. It's definitely a completely different field than folk style, but that's just something I'm gonna have to learn within the next 6 years.
Yeah. So where were you yesterday?
I was at AL. They had the Bill
Okay.
Smith freestyle
Oh yeah.
classic.
Very nice. Yeah. I knew I think Osage had theirs yesterday too, so I wasn't sure if you went all the way up there, but no, I do remember someone saying that AL had their tournament too. So yeah, no, that's awesome. How'd you do?
I got first.
Very nice, very nice. Yeah, freestyle, there's definitely a lot to learn and pick up, but wrestling's wrestling also. Once you kind of get the feel for it, it's not too bad. I practice it quite a bit up at BV. Um, let's see, let's go with your state tournament experience. Is there something that you really truly loved about the state tournament? There's some really cool things that the girls union does for all the girls. What are some things you really love about the girls state tournament?
I really just like how it's set up, honestly. I like Coralville. I wish it was closer, but I mean everybody from if it were somewhere else, I'd be like, "Oh, I wish there's can't really pick and choose." But I like that back room. We always set up on like the bleachers and do our blow up our air mattress and I like that there's I think they have 3 or 4 mats back there just to warm up on instead of going out into the arena. I don't know when the first year I don't think they had that, or even if they did, I think we practiced or warmed up out on the arena mats. But I enjoyed I don't know, it feels more calm back there. I can hear everybody. I don't know, it's way more chill and relaxed back there, and I like relaxing back there because there's not a lot of screaming and yelling, and you don't hear everything when you're back there. So I was able to take a nap actually. So it was because we were waiting on a backside match or something to get over, and I took a nap back there. I was like, okay. So, but like it was nice to be sitting back there, and it feels more calm. We also are friends with a lot of people, like around like I spent my senior year being like super friendly. Like I wanted to finish out the year with I didn't want to be upset about any matches. I just wanted to have like so anybody I lost to like Candace Bushlong, Mariah Benedict.
Hmm.
Me and Candace had a match at Osage my junior year, and I beat her 12-2, and then we wrestled again at the state tournament, and I lost. But not once did I ever have like was I upset. Like me and her and Mariah are all friends outside of this, even though we were all in the same state bracket. Or like Lenny Gosek beat me 6-4 at Osage this year, and like I don't know, I don't see a point in being like upset about it because I don't know. I think they're going to Florida too, and I love hanging out with them. I love talk. We talk almost every day. I love those girls. So
Yeah.
I
Well,
like the friendships they make.
I know all those girls too, and I've been on trips with them. They're yeah, super kids. Actually, uh Cadence and she's actually come to my house to practice and stuff. Her dad and I are really good friends. So yeah, that's what I think the difference sometimes in girls wrestling and boys wrestling is the fact that there are some deep friendships and bonds that, and I'm sure the guys have them too, but I just don't see it as much. I coach guys for almost 20 years and I've never seen the relationships that, you know, you girls really do develop good relationships. What's it like to sign your bracket after having a match? Because I can't imagine my hands would be all cramped up, and I don't know if I could actually sign write my name on that bracket. What's it like to sign your name on the bracket after a match?
So after junior year was the only year I signed it. I won round one this year, but I completely forgot about it because I just wanted to get more food in me, honestly. Because
Uh-huh.
I went and checked my food, and I completely spaced it. And I think one of the employees wrote it for me, but I was like, okay,
Oh,
cool. But I did write it. It was either sophomore or junior year, and it was super cool. Like, we got some cool pictures. It was neat. I like that they do that. I think that's so awesome. And um, I don't know. I can't remember it too much, but I'm sure I was like shaking or something because I was like my freshman year. It was either my freshman or eighth grade year that I didn't win a single match against anybody except for one. Or no, it was eighth grade, and I won one match that whole season. It was at a AAU state eighth grade, and yeah, and it was a really bad match, like when I look back on it, but I mean, everyone starts somewhere, so,
oh
but
yeah.
then I was like, oh my gosh, I won a match. And then freshman year, I think I went 1-2. I honestly can't remember, but I don't know. A win, like I was just super happy. I don't know. I don't know. I'm sure I
No,
was
that's
happy about it, but
no, that's awesome. Is there anything that you know you can think of that you'd change at the girls' state tournament, or do you think it's doing awesome right now? Anything you can think of at all?
um, I honestly say like I know everyone says that, but honestly, I think we need a bigger arena. Like there were some parents that were like denied entry, even like they couldn't watch their kid wrestle, and that like my dad was telling me about it afterwards, and my grand because I had my grandparents there, aunts, uncles, like it's my senior year, everybody came out
Hmm.
and made the trip, and it just broke my heart to hear that they couldn't watch their kid wrestle. And like I don't know, that stuff like that made me like that hurt my heart real badly, especially like if this is your kid's first state tournament, last, like whatever, it's a super important tournament. And like to hear that like you can even watch your kid wrestle after driving all this way, like that hurt my heart. So I definitely say a bigger arena for sure. Especially I don't but now that they split it like into the sessions for 1A and 2A, it went a lot better, but there were still people that couldn't get into like the finals, which was really sad. But I mean, maybe that I don't know how many years they have left with that contract with the Extreme Arena, but I definitely say a bigger arena.
Yeah, I think, you know, it's kind of hard to decide that for. I'm not sure how much, you know, they have left on that contract either. Wells Fargo to me almost seems too big sometimes. I don't really like watching wrestling there, but I mean, there isn't much between. That's the problem. You know, honestly, Council Bluffs has got a really nice arena that might actually be bigger, and Sioux Cities too. Also, wouldn't mind having that on this side of the state. Um, you know, I think future holds a dual tournament, maybe a state dual tournament would have been nice. You guys probably would have competed quite well in that. But, you know, I think I've gotten through our wrestling questions. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of start on let's get to know Cassie just a little bit better. And we'll start simple and easy. What's your favorite color?
Orange.
Orange. See, you should have been a Ridgeview girl. You'd have looked great in orange and black. That would have been awesome. Um, do you have any pets? And well, start. Do you have any pets? I'll start with that.
Yeah, I have 3 cats.
Three cats. Okay. So if you could have any pet in the world, what would you choose?
Um, it's a funny story because my sister, she was really little, but there's like these weighted stuffed animals at Target, and I got her a dinosaur when like me and her were out, and she picked out the dinosaur, and I was like, okay, like it's only $20, like, and she sleeps with it every night. Her birthday party was dinosaur themed. Anytime she sees a dinosaur, she wants the there's a dinosaur on my somewhere in here because she just leaves them everywhere. But it would be a dinosaur because I know she'd want the dinosaur, so it'd probably be a dinosaur.
Well, that's, there's more proof that you probably should have been at Ridgeview because then
Oh
we're the
my.
Raptors. So I don't know. If you had one more year of eligibility, maybe we can score that somehow. We'll get you up there. Um, let's go to favorite shoes. You've seen me around. You know I love shoes, and I wear some crazy shoes every once in a while. So we'll start with wrestling shoes. What's your favorite wrestling shoe?
Um, my Nike Inflicts.
That they see, I've never put on a pair of Nike Inflicts, but probably 80 to 90% of people say Nike Inflicts. So I'm definitely gonna have to get a pair of those. Um, are you a shoe person outside of, do you wear a lot of different shoes? You love shoes or not?
I don't know, like wrestling shoe wise, I've tried just about any shoe, but like this year I had my white ones and I switched out the laces. Like I wanted to be kind of fancy this year, but I don't know. Most of the time I just wear my tennis shoes. Like some of my shoes are back there or upstairs, but I'm not like that person that has like 8 pairs of Jordans or Yeezys or something. Like I kind
Gotcha.
of just have like a pair per like a neutral that I can wear just like anything.
Gotcha. Yeah, I've kind of gotten to where I love Dunks. Dunks are one of my favorite kinds, and then Air Force Ones. But I'm getting old, so I've gone to Hoka's, for my everyday shoes, so they get the padding. My wife makes fun of me that I wear like big old fat shoes because my knees hurt, but that's all right. So you said you loved ice cream. We'll go to the next little thing here. You love ice cream, uh, but let's go to post weigh-in. What would you eat post weigh-in?
I really like the Honey Stingers energy waffles. I get the caramel energy waffle. They're kind of expensive, but I don't know, I really like them for recovery, but I also like ranch rice cake chips or just a really good ham sandwich. Like for it to be really good, I have to like pack everything separately and then make the sandwich when I'm there, or it's not good. Or beef jerky. I'm a really big foodie, so like after the tournament, me and my
Uh-huh.
teammates would go get crumble if we didn't have like weigh-ins or something the next day or within like the next couple days. Like that last tournament before spring break, everyone loaded in my car and we had another car full of people and we all went to Crumble and Chipotle and Bellevue and just ate. It was
Nice.
yeah, it was good.
So if you could have anything, weigh-ins are done for the rest of your life. You can go eat anywhere, have anything. What are you gonna go eat?
Shrimp Alfredo pasta.
Oh, not a bad choice. Very good. Very good. So, uh, guilty pleasure foods. We know ice cream. Anything else that you love to snack on?
Probably just beef jerky. I really like beef jerky. Or like I don't know, I really like cookies. Like I prefer cookies over cake, so probably just like or Oreos. I really like Oreos. Probably cookies.
Cookies. So like double stuffed Oreos, or do you get the mint
The
mint stuffed
mega,
Oreos? Yeah, okay.
the mega
All
stuffed
right.
Oreos.
Okay. Mega stuffed Oreos. I'll see if we can find you some of those down in Florida. Is there something you absolutely will not eat?
I don't like mushrooms,
Really?
like
Huh.
or tomatoes. I like
Fair.
I won't even touch them.
Gotcha. Fair enough. Fair enough. Mushrooms are kind of odd. I love them, but they're odd. Do you watch much TV, movies, anything like that?
Not really. I'm a real big YouTube person. Like I watch a lot of YouTube or like I don't, yeah, I watch a lot of YouTube.
What's some of the things you like to catch up on YouTube then?
I like watching like funny because I'll sit here and in the morning before I go to work, I'll get ready because I go from work straight to school. So I'll just put it up here while I'm getting ready and I'll watch just like funny videos. Like Balin Levine is a funny one. Like he just does dumb stuff and like when like he should probably get like arrested for some of these things, but they're so funny. Like he'll walk around Walmart and he's like recording people and they'll be like, "Can you put the camera away?" And he'll be like, "It's a PS5," and then they'll just start giggling with it. It's just funny,
Just
dumb videos.
funny dumb stuff. Gotcha. Do you have any movies that you like absolutely love? Do you like Disney movies, anything like that?
Avatar, the first one is my absolute favorite movie. I used to watch it on repeat all the time. If you ask any of my family, they won't play it because I watched it so many times. But that is my all-time favorite movie and will forever be my favorite movie.
Nice. I like that. So if you could go anywhere on vacation, anywhere at all, where are you gonna go?
Um, Probably. I don't know. We went to Puerto Vallarta like 5 years ago. I would definitely go back there. That was like I don't remember much, but I remember like I like the ocean, so I definitely go anywhere I can get my feet in the water. That's for sure.
I've been to Puerto Vallarta once too. It's a really neat area. It is. I loved it down there too. That's a great vacation spot. Um, music. Do you listen to music prior to matches? Do you have your headphones on or not?
Yeah.
So what's the main song right before going out to wrestle?
My teammate actually put me on this at the state tournament. Like before, it was just like some rap song, but she or it's still a rap song, but it's Paris by Suicide Boys. I play it every tournament. It's not like right before or whatever, but I have my headphones on constantly or whenever I'm driving, I'm always listening to music. Like before this, I had music on my TV, but that song I'll always play at any tournament I'm at one or two times.
So is rap your favorite genre of music then?
Um, for like tournaments or the gym, but most of the time I'm listening to it's like kind of shuffling through like I want to say rap or like pop or countries in there sometimes or yeah, so pretty much yeah.
Kind of a little bit of everything then. Gotcha. Do you have a pre-match ritual? Do you do something all the time, always have to do it? Are you superstitious about stuff like that?
I'm not so much superstitious, but I always make sure that I get a really good stretch, especially because I've had a couple of injuries that have been like super painful if I don't stretch them. So I always make sure to stretch really good. But I just like to keep moving. I'll just keep bouncing. I'll keep my headphones on. I'll like walk back and forth. And when I get to this side, I'll start bouncing. When I get to this side, I'll stretch. This side, I'm bouncing. This side, I'm stretching. Whether that's touching my toes or swinging my arms around or something, just that's just what I'll do until I'm in or until I'm on deck.
Do you think is there something that maybe you do that because you're a super nice person, but go from that really nice person off the mat to that mean person in the middle of the mat? Is there something that you mentally do, or is there are you just able to flip that switch no problem?
When I start warming up, I definitely just put the headphones on and like if you gotta give me a high five, I'll give you a high five, but my face will go from like I'll be smiling like before that and then I'll just be like game face. Like I'm not talking to anybody, I'm warming up, don't talk to me. I'll talk to you after the match, win or lose, but don't talk to me right now. Like kind of thing.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Just that focus before the match is what flips that switch for you. Is there something that you're probably going to forever remember your coaches say all the time? There's those phrases that us coaches always say. Is there something you'll probably wake up in the middle of the night and hear bands or somebody saying this? What is there something you can think of?
Marinelli drill. Marinelli drill.
He says that
Uh
you hear that all the time, huh?
every match I'll hear it, whether it's my match, their match, or like other kids' matches, or at practice. It'll always be like Marinelli, Marinelli, or it's just this drill that that's been drilled into my mind ever since coming to LC. Like I learned it at the first open mat I came to, and I was like, okay, but it's literally yeah. I don't. It's an LC thing. I don't really know.
Gotcha. Can you explain the drill to everybody so they can maybe just understand what you're saying?
Yeah, so they're all they do is put their because a lot of girls I've noticed this a lot of girls and that's probably why we do this drill, but they'll just go out there and second the whistle blows, they'll just put their hand on you. So it's literally just posting and then getting coming in for a high C and whether like will either be like finishing or not finishing, you just get there and all you're doing is getting your hips, hands, and your head there, or we'll be finishing it. So but we'll start with because we do it during our warm up too, but we'll post like it's literally just posting left or right. But if because I'm a right
Gotcha.
leg lead, then I'll
Uh-huh.
single leg the right side. If like they're coming up with their right hand, I'll just post the right hand, single leg the right leg. But if they're coming up with the other hand, I'll post and go high C on the left side. So it's really just it's just been drilled into my mind ever since I've been here.
Gotcha. Good drill. It's a great drill. I think, I think we kind of all do a little bit of that variation, but that's something that's kind of a good idea. Um, coin flip. What's your choice? What's your favorite? What's your favorite spot?
Tails.
I mean top bottom,
Oh,
or that. No, I meant that. But you're always going to pick. I'll remember that. So we're going to have to do that, and I'll get a weighted coin with heads, and I'll win every time. But so what's your choice? If it's your choice, what are you taking? And I know it
first
might
choice
depend
I'll
on.
go defer.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So, um, I won't even give you a situation, just whatever. What's your favorite position to be in?
Bottom.
Bottom. Okay.
I
Uh,
feel like I can get out really well.
okay. What's the best move off the bottom for you?
Just a simple stand up. But if
Simple
that
stand
doesn't
up.
work, I'll switch it over to a switch. Like Edie Collins was my first or second match of the day, day two, and I kept hitting that stand up, and on my second or third stand up, we went out of bounds, and I look over at Mans, and because it didn't work three times, and we just went out of bounds three different times, and on that fourth time, I tried to switch and ended up reversing, getting a reversal, and then got her in a butcher, and match was over. So, but
Nice.
most of the time, I'll just hit a stand up and get out just fine.
So from top, what's your favorite? What's your pinning combination? What are you working for mostly?
I'll hit a chop jam on the left side, or sometimes I'll start on the right side and then swing over to the left and hit a chop jam on the left. But I really like chicken wings. I do that
Nice.
a lot. On, like almost every match I do is just a textbook chicken wing and just stick them, get off the mat.
Nice. Nice. Favorite takedown?
Oh, um, it kind of varied this season. Like a lot of it was just double legs, like just double leg. But towards the end of the season, I was hitting a lot of single legs, and I'll bring the leg up, and when I finish, I'll bring the leg up, and I'll grab the back of their neck and trip them backwards. Like
Hmm.
that worked well towards the end of the season. I hit that at the state tournament as well. But for like like my uh blood rounds match. It was 5-5, 10 seconds left, and my emerge like everyone uses like a head throw as like an emergency. Like when you really gotta get points, you need them. That's what you need. I hit an arm spin.
Oh,
That's my
nice.
thing. I like those more than headlocks for sure.
I love an arm spin. That's one of my go-tos actually because I like to overhook. Do you do it off an overhook or how do you hit your arm spin?
Sometimes they'll just be keeping their hand there, and I'll just rest my hand on their elbow,
Oh,
and then
okay. Yep.
come in.
Gotcha. Yep. Love an arm spin. Teach it. We teach them all the time. I think it's a great way to go. Um, so now that you're getting into some freestyle, what's your favorite, folk style or freestyle?
I'm really liking freestyle. I really do enjoy it.
Good. I think it's an awesome sport. I think it's fun. There's good and bad to both of them. I mean, sometimes as a coach, I don't like freestyle just because it's so subjective in scoring and it irritates me when I don't think it's scored right, but that happens in folk style too. Um, if you could have a superpower, you know are one of the super friends or whatever, what superpower are you gonna have?
Probably super strength.
Super strength, that would be an awesome one. You've just been promoted. You're now the head of the NFHS, National Federation of High Schools, and you can change one rule about wrestling. One rule, anything different. What are you going to do?
I would add step outs, like to folk style, like girls folk styles. I'd add the like out of bounds rule because I see a lot of girls just pushing girls out of bounds or they're backing up all the time. I think that they should add this step out rule for folk style. I think that'd be
I,
cool.
I think that's a great way to look at it. There's a lot of people that say that. Hopefully that's something that's coming. I think it would make the matches more exciting quicker. You wouldn't, that stall point goes away because you're going to circle in all the time and stuff. So yeah, that's a great one. Is there someone when you started wrestling or even today, and especially since you're on YouTube quite a bit, is there someone you watch that inspires you to in wrestling?
Um, you know, I don't know. It'd probably be like people like around here. Like I watch Molly Allen every tournament that we are at the same tournament. And
Hmm.
like most people say like people really big like Felicity Taylor or like Kylie or Helen, like they say really big people like that. But honestly, Molly has achieved so much. Like Molly's Molly's Molly. Like
Yeah.
everybody in Iowa who Molly Allen is. Everybody who's ever heard of Fargo knows who Molly Allen is. Girls wrestling, if you think of just an amazing wrestler, everyone's gonna mention Molly Allen at least once.
Yeah. No, Molly, and she's fun to watch. She's got, she's always scoring. She's always in good position. Yeah, she is really fun, and she's a sweetheart of a girl too, and she's funny. So yeah, I don't think there's a wrong answer in that at all ever because I think there's so many great people in Iowa wrestling, Iowa girls wrestling, and national wrestling too. So, yeah, I honestly watching all you girls kind of inspires me. It's something I coached boys, like I said, boys wrestling for about 20 years, and I've coached girls for the last 10. I mean, I started with just one girl, but now with it being sanctioned, there's no way I would go back to coaching boys ever again. I think you guys are so much more fun to watch and stuff. Is there any final thoughts that you can think of that you'd like to just say to anybody? Maybe it doesn't even matter. Just the final thoughts on the day.
Um, if you're thinking about wrestling or have never wrestled before and you've wanted to try it, but you're too scared or can't build up the confidence or scared of getting hurt, I promise you it's really not that bad. I promise you it's a judge-free zone. You know, if you come to your first practice without shoes, I came to my first practice without shoes, or if you don't know if whether you want to try it, just give her a try. You know, worst case scenario, it's not for you, but at least you can say you tried it. Um, that's pretty much it. Or if you have younger siblings who want to try it, or if you're an older sibling and you're not really enjoying it, don't take that away from them. Just make like it's a good community. Everybody loves everybody. I just like to see new girls go out, and it hurts my heart when they're too scared to join or they're scared they're gonna get hurt. Just give her a try, and I'm sure you'll either fall in love with it or you'll hate it. It's a very um love-hate relationship. You either love it or you hate it.
Yeah. No, awesome. Thank you very much for doing this. It's good to get to know you a little bit better now, and I'm happy to. I can't wait to go on the trip with you. But I'm going to go ahead and stop recording now, and we'll talk just for a couple minutes.